Hey guys, Exotic Dan here. Now, before I start off this video, so basically, if you hear my voice like getting quiet throughout the video, it's basically because there's a lot of people sleeping. Like at the time, there's a lot of people sleeping in my house at the time of recording this video because it's very late at night. By the time I'm recording this video, it's probably not very late at night. It's probably not very late at night by the time you're watching this video, but by the time of recording this video, it's very late for me. So basically, if you hear my voice like getting quiet throughout the video, that's the reason why. Now, without further ado, let's get in to today's video topic. Now, today's video topic is basically about a person named Ruby Frankie. Now, basically, she owns a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers. Now, for those who are totally unfamiliar with the 8 Passengers channel, basically they're a vlogging channel who does a lot of vlogging. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen like a lot of vlogs. I know what people know what vlogs are, but for those who do not know what vlogs are, it's basically like a blog. You basically document your life in this blog, but a vlog. But unlike blogs, vlogs are actually videos, and you basically document your day in a video. Now, this is definitely one thing I never would have really expect from a channel that does vlogging, but what this vlogger does absolutely horrifies me, and it just really makes me like, I don't know how to describe it, but just so this vlogger, she really makes me mad. Like, believe it or not, she really makes me mad. Now, the reason why she makes me mad, and the reason why I find some of the content on her channel very disturbing, is because of some of the stuff that she does on that channel. Now, for those who are totally unfamiliar with the 8 Passengers YouTube channel, she also has some kids. Now, basically, some of the stuff that she does, like, to her kids, are definitely the most harshest and horrifying things that I've probably ever seen on any YouTube channel. Now, basically, um, I've been on YouTube for a while now. I was born in 2002. Like, I've pretty much been around before YouTube was even a thing. Like, because I was born in 2002 and YouTube was released in 2005. Now, basically, this is definitely one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen any YouTuber or any vlogger or even any parent do as well. Now, basically, what Ruby Frankie does is that she disciplines her kids in very harsh ways, and it's even for the most littlest things as well, believe it or not. Now, basically, there was this one time where where one of her youngest daughters cut something in her house, and as a warning, she basically disciplined this very young girl who is her daughter, and said, and grabbed one of her favorite stuffed animals, and said that if she cut one more thing in the house, that she was going to cut off the head of the stuffed animal. Now, let me tell you this. That is not how you should talk to a young girl who is your child. Like, this stuffed animal is like a very like a thing that she really loves, like, and saying that you're gonna cut off the head of it is absolutely horrifying. Like, you should not talk to your children like that. And there are even more terrible things that she said to her children as well. Now, basically, there was this time where they saw a car crash, and the mother, Ruby Frankie, she told her children that they should have been a part of that car crash. Now, let me tell you this. You should never, ever say that to anybody, because car crashes, they are very serious things, and they basically can end up like really seriously hurting somebody, or it could even result in death as well. Like, you should never talk to your children like that. Like, that's, or even anybody in that matter. Like, that's going like way too far. Like, that is literally the most horrifying thing I ever heard anybody say come out of their mouth. Like, it's just absolutely horrifying. And there's also more as well, where she said that in order to use her toilet, they have to do a week of chores, and that's just to use her toilet. Yes, you heard me right. They have to do a week of chores just to use her toilet. Now, that is basically one of the most important amenities in life. Like, that is something that, like, going to the bathroom, that is something you need to do in order to survive in life. Like, I can, like, literally imagine, like, the pain that these kids are, like, going through and stuff. Like, it's absolutely horrifying. And another time, she told her 5-year-old daughter, well, basically what happened is, her mother, Ruby Frankie, like Ruby Frankie, she forgot to, basically, her 5-year-old daughter, she went to school, and she basically, basically a lunch was not packed for her, and basically, Ruby Frankie was expecting her 5-year-old daughter to make her own meal. Like, I understand that making meals is definitely a big part, but literally, a 5-year-old daughter, like, you should literally, you should literally, like, teach her, like, how to make her own meals, but literally, you can't, like, expect, like, a 5-year-old to, like, pack, like, make their own lunch and, like, pack it in. Like, normally, I do see, like, a lot of parents do that. I know, like, when I went to school, a lot of kids, their parents normally pack their own lunches, but this mother, she is, like, absolutely crazy, and she really wants her own kids to, like, make their own meals. And as a punishment for not having a packaged lunch, she let her own daughter starve for the rest of the day. Yes, you heard me right. She actually did not let her 5-year-old daughter have dinner. She let her starve for the rest of the day. And let me tell you this, you also need to have all 3 meals in order to survive. Yes, you need to have 3 meals per day in order to survive a day-to-day life. Like, I cannot imagine, like, the way of how this mother is treating her own children. And another part is that she also said that if basically one of her sons, he had homework and he put it in a plastic bag, and basically that homework, that was like half of his grades, and the mother said that in order to get the homework back, he would have to pay her just to get his homework back. And the father, he was even more crucial by saying that he either has to pay for his homework or do some chores in order to get the homework back. And if basically, if none of that happens, at the end of the day, whatever ends up in that bag gets thrown out. Now let me tell you this. If something is worth half of your marks, you should literally not tell your children that they have to pay money just to get their homework back, especially if it's like worth half of their grades and it's basically requiring them to move on to the next grade so that way they can graduate elementary school, middle school, and high school. Like, literally, this is not a good way to be parenting your children. Like, this is literally the most crucial thing that I've ever seen on any YouTube channel. Like, it's absolutely horrifying. Like, I can just imagine like some of the stuff that's like what they're going through like right now is just horrifying. And two more things that they've also done is that basically what she did was she told one of her daughters to put on a bikini and to basically try on a bikini and like basically do it and basically to try it on camera, like, like go into your room, put the bikini on and basically come out of the room with the bikini on. Like, you can tell that the daughter was obviously very uncomfortable by doing this, and the mother, she did not do this. Like she did not really listen. Like, she basically ignored the fact that her daughter was very uncomfortable with trying on a bikini on camera. Like, if somebody told me to do something and I was not comfortable doing something, like if somebody told me to do something that I wasn't comfortable doing, like on camera, I would feel very uncomfortable as well. Like, I would literally tell the person that I would not do what they wanted to do on camera. Like, and like that's even more, like, that's just absolutely horrifying. Another thing is that basically they basically what happened is one day, so basically there was this time where Ruby Frankie and two of her daughters had to sit down and talk about something that where they had to talk about that that 7-letter P word that I'm not gonna say on camera, because if I say that P word on camera, this video will probably get hit with a community guideline strike. So basically, they had to talk about the 7-letter P word, and the daughters, like, this is normally a very, I guess you could say, embarrassing topic to talk about. And her daughters, they were telling Ruby Frankie that they did not want to talk about this embarrassing conversation on camera. Like, you could even tell by the tone in their voices as well, that they did not want to talk about this on camera. Now, basically, if somebody wanted to talk to me about an embarrassing conversation, like, either if it was about them or about me, I would feel, I would basically tell the person that, I would basically say, hey, can you turn off the camera, please? I don't want to talk about an embarrassing conversation on camera. But this mother, Ruby Frankie, when her daughters told her to turn off the camera to talk about this embarrassing conversation that they were going to have, she ignored them. She did not turn off the camera when she was talking about this embarrassing conversation. And another thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is the fact when they sent their 14-year-old kid off to a camp, basically because of him hanging his brother from a basketball hoop. And this is literally, now they sent him to like this camp, and this camp, they basically said this camp was basically all about, like, the only thing that this 14-year-old child had with him was a bag of clothes that he carried with him, and he had to spend several weeks on mountains in Arizona. Now let me tell you, I never been to the United States or Arizona. I've always wanted to go to the United States. Like the United States have always like been a dream place for me to go to. Hopefully one day when this whole virus thing ends, hopefully one day I'll be able to go to the States because I've always wanted to go to the States ever since I was a young child. Um, but anyways, back to the conversation. From what I heard, by many sources, I do hear that it is very hot in Arizona. And can you imagine like being like on this mountain like during the summer for several weeks with like a bag of clothes, like with nothing like but a bag of clothes and like basically essential stuff as well? Like I could imagine that. And then when he came home from this camp, he did not the mother, Ruby Franke, she did not give her 14-year-old boy who went on this camp in Arizona for several weeks during a hot summer, and when he came home, she did not give this 14-year-old man, her 14-year-old child, a bedroom. Yes, you heard me right. This man, this child, this 14-year-old boy, he did not have a bedroom when he came back from this camp, and he spent a very hot summer for several weeks on on a hot mountain in Arizona. Like seriously, can you imagine that? Like can you imagine coming home from a summer camp and basically spending it for several weeks during a hot summer on mountains in Arizona? Like, can you imagine coming home after that long in that much temperature and to come home to not have a bedroom? Like, I mean, seriously, this is something that is not okay. Like, this is literally these are literally the most crucial things and the most crucial punishments I've ever seen parents give their own children. Like, this is something that is not okay. This is probably the most crucial parent I've ever seen on the whole entire internet. And let me tell you, I've seen some very horrifying things on the internet before. Like, again, I was born in 2002, and like in the 2000s, they were the years when that was the like that era, that was like early 2000s. That was the time when computers were like just like starting to like blow up and everything, like in the market, like people like computers, they were like a hot ticket item for everybody, really. They were like the smartphone at the time, really, believe it or not. Like computers were actually the smartphone of the early 2000s, believe it or not. And this was literally something, but again, like with these horrible things that this mother is doing, like with me being around, like with the internet like blowing up and everything, and with mostly everybody having a computer, like I remember like when I first started elementary school, like I remember that my teachers that were in my elementary school, they would bring me to the computer lab sometimes, and I would basically there were like these Windows XP computers, and we would go on there to basically do some schoolwork. But um, with these parents being who they are, I can't imagine like being like I can't imagine like how these kids are feeling, like just hearing like just seeing and hearing some of the stuff that these parents are like saying to their own children is absolutely horrifying. Like, I mean, seriously, this needs to be stopped. Like, this is something that you should not be saying to your children. Like, this is absolutely horrifying on what you're doing to your children, and this is something that is not okay. Like, some of the stuff that you're saying to your children is just not okay. But anyways, this is where I'm gonna wrap up for today's video. If you guys happen to find this video, if you happen to find this video enjoyable or found it helpful, please make sure to hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe because I do videos every single day, and also don't forget to ring that notification bell as well so you never miss a single video. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.